All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So we have a lot to talk about in this video. Bitcoin's price chart, Ethereum's price chart. We're comparing Bitcoin to XRP and what happened during the last bull run, where we are right now for XRP compared to the last run that took place that drove XRP to parabolic rallies. Ripple Labs facing a $770 million SEC settlement. What to expect for this? How to prepare? Also, when we discuss how much money is on the table for these ETF filings from Ethereum with Grayscale, 21 shares in ARK, BlackRock, Bitwise, VanEck, WisdomTree, Invesco and Galaxy, Fidelity, Valkyrie, Global X, among many others. Why has the SEC rejected spot Bitcoin ETFs in the past? And when will they approve them next? Plus, a leak reveals that Joe Biden is about to issue a game-changing executive order that could spark a Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and crypto market rally. And Wall Street giants are calling it a $48.3 trillion bazooka. So is this good news or is this bad news for the entire crypto market, with Bitcoin sitting at $33,800, Ethereum at $1,700, XRP at 55 cents, and the rest of the market's cooling off today? We're going to talk about all of this in today's video. So comment 777 if you're feeling blessed, if you're feeling bullish, and let's run it. All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So first things first, let's talk about Bitcoin to the US dollar compared to Ethereum, because the markets move through Bitcoin first, then into Ethereum, then into the rest of the altcoins. And so on the left-hand side of the screen, what we can see right here for Bitcoin going all the way back until February of 2023, on the lower portion of the screen, you see the RSI was sitting at about 80 into overbought territory when Bitcoin was at about $23,000. Now, we see this bearish deviation take place where we saw higher highs taking place on the chart, all the way up until the high of July of 2023, but we saw lower highs taking place on the RSI where we just kept going down. Right here on April of 2023, we were at 73 on the RSI. And then for the high of July, we were at about 67 on the RSI. And then we saw the price, crash from $31,000 all the way down to $25,000. And people were calling for Bitcoin to crash all the way down to 20,000. Some people even saying that it could have gone down to the low of November, which is possible. And this breakout right here, we're going to discuss what could happen next. And on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see it compared to Ethereum. We see Bitcoin's rally is 32%, whereas Ethereum's rally is 22%. So what does this mean? Because just recently, we saw Bitcoin rally up 32%, and simultaneously, we saw the RSI break this downward trending macro resistance right here to the upside, and it pushed all the way upwards of 81. Right now it's at about 75. And that doesn't mean that, the price is going to come crashing down, because when we compare all the way back to what happened, roughly where we are right around now to November 30th of 2020, we saw Bitcoin rallying up. We saw Ethereum rallying up, but Bitcoin went first. So during the period of about 14 days, Bitcoin went from about $13,000 upwards of $15,000, whereas Ethereum dropped from $417 to about $375 over the course of 2 weeks. Then once Bitcoin cooled off for a little bit and then still trended upwards, we saw Ethereum start the rally after that over the course of 30 days. Then about 40 days later, Ethereum was upwards of $617 all the way from $365. So Bitcoin moves first, then Ethereum moves next, and that money starts flowing out of Bitcoin and Ethereum into the altcoins. And so we're going to discuss where we could be in this macro market cycle in comparison to the last bull run, because phase one of the bull run, I personally believe, is taking place right now with us breaking this high of July of 2023. But however, Ethereum hasn't broken the high of April of 2023. And we see right here, it's been about 192 days for Bitcoin since April until this breakout where Bitcoin has decisively broke above the high of the year, where we see Ethereum facing some resistance right here at about $1,865. So when we go back to the 21st of October of 2020, when Bitcoin broke the high of around $12,300 and started rallying out of this for about 14 days, Bitcoin rallied up to about $16,000, whereas Ethereum was seeing the sell-off right here from $420 all the way down to $370, and Ethereum couldn't break the high of $485. Very similarly, we see something happening right now where Ethereum couldn't even break the high of July of 2023, July 12th, and can't even get close to the high of 13th of April of 2023. So from August 16th of 2020, the 1st of September of 2020, all the way to the 21st of October of 2020, then for 14 days, Ethereum could not break this descending resistance. And we're seeing a very similar situation play out from the 16th of April, the 12th of July, and currently where we got rejected on this wick right here from this descending resistance, October 22nd, while Bitcoin simultaneously reached 80 on the RSI and is starting to cool off for a little bit. So while all eyes are on Bitcoin right now with these ETF filings, over the next 2 weeks, could we see Bitcoin march a little bit higher while we see Ethereum sell off? And then looking at XRP during this time frame, the same situation happened where we saw XRP drop about 13% from the beginning of October to the 4th of November. So for an entire month, XRP, it consolidated sideways. Overall, it was about 13% drop if you bought, on the 9th of November, whereas Bitcoin rallied 51% during that time period. And then Bitcoin rallied another 25%, whereas XRP rallied 250%. So Bitcoin went first, money goes into Ethereum, then the money went into XRP. Then obviously the lawsuit hit XRP and brought the price all the way back down to 17 cents. Otherwise, we would have probably seen something like this take place for XRP, form a symmetrical triangle, and then trade higher during that bull run of 2021. So when Bitcoin rallied that additional 25%, cooled off for a little bit until the 12th of December, then we saw Bitcoin going crazy, whereas XRP struggled to break the high of the 24th of November until about the 3rd of April. So what was Bitcoin doing? So around the 3rd of April, Bitcoin was around $57,000, almost near the high. Bitcoin only rallied another 12%. Whereas XRP went from 57 cents all the way to $1.90 plus, rallying over 239%. Then we saw XRP sell off with Bitcoin after that, and then we saw the dead cat bounce take place, where XRP rallied up to $1.40, whereas Bitcoin rallied up to $52,000. Quick correction, then another rally for the all-time high for Bitcoin, whereas XRP was already on the downtrend after that. So when Bitcoin was forming its all-time high, XRP had already formed its all-time high of the year. So XRP peaked out earlier, but XRP rallied after Bitcoin. So now let's compare XRP's chart today to where we were back from October to November of 2020. We could see XRP post-lawsuit rally upwards of 90, 93, 94 cents. All the way back here on August 2nd, XRP was at about 32 cents. Then we saw XRP see a sell-off all the way down to 21 cents. Similarly, we saw XRP drop to 43 cents. Then we see the zone of resistance that XRP has struggled to break above about 55 cents for roughly 70 days. Very similarly, on the right-hand side of the screen, XRP struggled to break above this zone of resistance at about 25, 26 cents for almost exactly 70 days as well too. So how long did it take XRP from August of 2020 to break the high of 32 cents? Well, it took roughly 110 days. So if we were to measure out from the high of post-lawsuit decision, almost $1, of the 12th of July to 110 days, that would put XRP at about the 30th of October on Halloween. So could we be just 4 days away from XRP seeing a massive breakout? Well, that would only be if this narrative plays out, similarly to what happened back from October to November of 2020 for Bitcoin, where if XRP can break and hold the 55-cent resistance and start to rally upwards of 60 cents, then I don't know, man. What do you guys think? Do you guys think we're going to see massive price appreciation for XRP? Again, not financial advice. Don't buy XRP. Don't sell XRP. But if we measure from the low of the 23rd of September of 2020 to another low right here for a double bottom trend reversal, it was about 40 days. And in my video yesterday, I talked about this double bottom trend reversal from the low of the 17th of August, and we wicked right here on the 8th of October, and it's been about 52 days. So if we hold 55 cents and we can go upwards of 60 cents and break 60 cents, I am extremely bullish for XRP. If we drop below 50 cents and we break roughly 0.475, then I think we could see XRP come all the way back down to about 45 cents. So we're going to have to see how this plays out over the next week. But Ripple is facing a $770 million settlement. Obviously, it's not going to be that much, but John Deaton is saying this is going to be an extensive negotiation process between Brad Garlinghouse, Chris Larson, and the SEC. This will entail an examination of multiple documents and transactions before the penalty fee is finalized. And Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson are projected to challenge this fee, possibly prolonging the case until late summer of next year, in spite of a previous denial. And I know that's not what you guys want to hear. No one wants to wait until late summer of next year, but I also want to share some information with you guys on what's happening for the ISO 20022 migration being postponed as well too, and how that's going to affect the markets, because XRP is still waiting to break out in regards to the settlement on how much they're going to pay the SEC. And also the SEC is acknowledging, Ethereum ETF filing from Grayscale, where they're going to convert their Grayscale Ethereum trust into a spot Ethereum exchange traded fund. According to Nate Garassi, president of the ETF Source, the conversion is around 4.8 billion ETH trust into an SEC registered ETF, which would allow more mainstream investors to gain exposure to Ethereum's native token without having to directly hold crypto assets. This is a big deal because all crypto investors hope that the conversion of the existing trusts into SEC registered ETFs will open up digital asset investing to more institutional investors. And ETFs face stricter regulation than trusts, but can be more easily traded by both retail and institutional investors. So the SEC will now begin a formal review process of Grayscale's Ethereum ETF application, with a final decision likely months away. And as you guys know from one of my previous videos, Gary Gensler said that the SEC is looking at about 8 to 10 spot Bitcoin ETF filings in front of the commission. So the agency is currently reviewing these applications, and it could potentially issue the first approval in the history of the United States. And it's only a matter of time. Gary Gensler has been noted for rather tumultuous relationship with the digital asset sector. Indeed, the chairman has recently issued a rather stern remark about the industry, speaking before the Securities Enforcement Forum, saying, "Don't even get me started on crypto." So will he approve, will he deny, or will he stall? Clearly, they're stalling right now and they're pushing this back, but we do have some information on when they are expected to have to make the decision. And to date, the SEC has approved only ETFs tied to Bitcoin futures contract. And Cathie Wood's ARK Invest application is on the front of the list. The 240-day SEC comment period for the application expires January 10th of 2024. So the SEC may either reject or approve it by that date.
And making that long-awaited ETF a lot more likely. We're very close right now. Joining us now, someone's very much got a dog in that fight. ARK Invest CEO Cathie Wood. Cathie, you're one of 9 applicants for a spot Bitcoin ETF. It looks like the SEC is going to be forced to approve a spot Bitcoin ETF. What, if any, communications have you had with the SEC about your application? Where are we in this whole thing?
It was publicized and disclosed last week that we had responded to the SEC's request for information around our Bitcoin filing, and we responded. And that's basically all we can say. I think many people think the SEC chose to ask questions is a change in behavior. Therefore, I do think hopes are rising that a number of Bitcoin ETFs will be approved.
The court now is going to issue a mandate about how to enforce their decision here to the SEC, and their SEC is going to basically follow that mandate. Everybody is assuming at this point that they'll probably approve most of the Bitcoin ETFs by the end of the year. Is that's a reasonable assumption at this point? They lost the court case. They chose not to appeal it at this point.
Maybe the reason they're saying by the end of the year, early next year, I know our final deadline on this filing is January 10th. And so, and I think we're first in line. But as you say, a number of Bitcoin ETFs could be approved at the same time.
So if we look right here, the first deadline has already passed for all these ETF filings. The second deadline, the only one left is Global X on the 21st of November. The third deadline is coming up November 11th. So a lot of people are claiming that November 11th for ARK shares is going to be the main date. However, January 10th is the date to watch, 2024. So I don't expect anything crazy to take place until the final deadlines have to happen, because the SEC is notorious for pushing back dates and what they did with the Ripple lawsuit. So I just expect them to do the same thing. Now, that doesn't mean that will happen. They could approve them earlier, they could deny them earlier, or they could push it all the way back and deny them on the final deadline, and that could cause a market crash. So it's unexpected what the SEC would decide to do. However, January 10th will be the first real indicator as to whether the SEC is ready to start approving these type of applications. The final deadline is on that day, and a decision will need to be made one way or another. So what's taking place right now is people are buying the rumors as they always do. And this is a narrative that's always taken place where the hype leads into the market, people scoop it all up. And then when the news actually takes place, it has minimal effect in comparison to the rumors leading up to it. So why has the SEC rejected spot Bitcoin ETFs in the past? Well, the SEC claimed that the Bitcoin market is not big or mature enough to sustain ETF market demand. The commission also said the price volatility and adequate level of trading surveillance could potentially leave the market prone to fraud and manipulation. Because when you see headlines like Sam Bankman-Fried's ex-girlfriend saying that he illegally kept Bitcoin's price below $20,000, would you want to be rolling your 401k into something like that? And the majority of your retirement fund through an ETF that is highly manipulated? Of course not. So as much as everyone wants to rag on the SEC and hate on them and compare Gary Gensler to, the Simpsons dude that's, collecting all the gold coins and having the power and the control, well, I wouldn't want to be putting my money in my 401k, my retirement fund into something like this. Personally, I would rather have self-custody. I wouldn't trust these big manipulated companies to hold it for me. That makes absolutely no sense when all I would do is create a Coinbase account or create, Binance account, and I would buy the Bitcoin myself and I would store it in an offline wallet. Why would people be giving their entire 401ks to these companies when this stuff is still going on and there's still manipulation behind the scenes? So seeing the SEC push this back is common sense at this point. I don't expect anything to happen until January. However, this rally that's taking place for Bitcoin right now, I do think it will continue into January of 2024, leading up until those ETF approvals. And right now, this is the first rally out of spring to get us out of these lower highs, breaking this descending resistance on the RSI right here, and simultaneously breaking the high of the year. And I just expect Bitcoin to kind of cool off over the next week to 2 weeks while pushing higher, while Ethereum sees a little bit of a sell-off, and then something similar to take place back from the 6th of November of 2020, where we saw Bitcoin pushing higher during those 2 weeks. Ethereum was seeing a sell-off. Then Ethereum springs out of that and gets more closely paired to Bitcoin during the bull run. So during the first spring for Bitcoin, all eyes are always on Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes first. People are saying, your altcoins are nonsense. Bitcoin's it. Bitcoin's everything. Bitcoin forever. And then all of a sudden that narrative starts to change when we see Bitcoin cool off for a little bit, seeing less percentage gains compared to Ethereum. And then the money starts to move from Ethereum into these altcoins when Ethereum breaks the high of the year. And I know you want to know, where will that money move when money starts going out of Bitcoin and Ethereum into altcoins? What industries, what categories are most likely to see a large inflow of volume? Well, a leak is revealing that Joe Biden could be about to issue a game-changing executive order that could spark some massive chaos in the crypto space. Whether it be good or bad, we're going to have to see, because Wall Street is getting ready for these ETFs with this $48 trillion bazooka, because Biden is reportedly unveiling a sweeping, wide-ranging, and long-awaited artificial intelligence executive order on Monday for regulation. So they're going to try and regulate artificial intelligence, but what the narrative that I personally feel is going to shift into the crypto space, it's going to drastically affect the AI, generative AI, and big data category on coinmarketcap.com. So if you go to categories and you click AI and big data, you will see these categories based on market cap, and you'll see that the largest by market cap AI project is Injective at 1 billion. Then you see the graph, then Render, then Oasis, then Singularity Net, Fetch AI, so on and so forth, going all the way down on this list. So if you guys want to see which artificial intelligence altcoins and projects, and even other category projects in the metaverse, in play to earn gaming, in layer ones, layer twos that we're the most bullish on, then all you have to do is go to bullrunners.com. If you want to see the list first of what we're holding in our portfolio for this next bull run, and you want to discover the best ways to make money online without any previous trading experience, because right now you are very, very early. This bull run is projected to go until 2025. In this first spring right now, for people that are FOMOing in right now, buying the top, they're going to be wondering, will these massive whales be buying when Ethereum starts to rip and breaks the high of the year of roughly $2,170? Because right now, Ethereum's at about $1,800. So we're still about 20% away from the high of the year. And when Ethereum breaks that high, altcoins are going to follow. And one of the biggest industries that money's going to go into will be artificial intelligence. Whether AI is ready or not on the blockchain for real world use, is up for debate because I don't think AI is really going to be ready until 2030, but that still doesn't change the narrative of where people are going to be positioning their money early ahead of everyone else. So with that being said, what we're going to be doing is backing up our truck all the way to the bank, grabbing the bags, packing them, stacking them, leaving no bags left behind because the spending power of the dollar is going to continue to go down in value. That's a fact. Blockchain technology, distributed ledger technology is going up in interest over time. That's the truth. Together, we're all going camping on the beaches of the moon. I will see you on the next video. I will see you on bullrunners.com. Go click the button right now, put in your best email address. You'll get on our early bird list and you'll be notified first when we launch our financial education platform because we give you the best to help you prepare for the worst that's yet to come in this economy. So with that being said, I'll see you on the next video. I'll see you on bullrunners.com. As always, you know what to do. Stay bullish.